Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Nebraska on a great game, being shorthanded and playing as hard and as physical as they do. They gave us everything, and I thought the last 5 minutes of the game we were determined to find a way. When Nebraska disrupted just about everything that we tried to do, our fans were awesome. The energy in the building was great. Yeah, there's not going to be an easy button for this stuff. Like, we're going to have to elevate our play, elevate our physicality, especially going into Friday night on the road. But like I said, we stepped up and we made big free throws. We got great contributions off the bench from Trey and Will. And when you're chasing a championship, you just have to have different guys step up each and every night. And credit our guys; they stayed ready.
Yeah, Dusty, the job he did at Jamarcus Lawrence the second half was unbelievable, as well as just the whole defensive scheme, what holding him 22 points. You talk about that. What adjustments at halftime did you make to slow them down, 50 points at half?
Well, we tweaked our ball screen coverage, and then most importantly, we just had much more urgency to get to the shooters. And there's a give and take, and so we made some errors, and we gave up a few cutting layups. And when you're playing against a player like Sanford that cuts, and he has range from 25 feet, and they're leveraging that on every single possession. And the guy is probably as well conditioned as other than Sam Hoiberg as anyone that we've played against. And so they were able to get some cuts and layups at pivotal times, but there were also instances where we defended the three. They were able to get behind our switches, and just our second effort we were able to get there and change the shot with our size, length, and athleticism. So ultimately, I thought that was the difference, just the fact that we weren't giving up on plays. Even when we made a mistake, we got to the next thing much better, especially the last 8 or 10 minutes of the game.
Steve? Jesse, after the last game here, you commented about Trey, how he looked more comfortable than he had at any point. And then today it looked like kind of the same thing. Talk about how he stepped up in the big moments, and also what your view was of his shot.
Are you talking about the shot that put us up? I thought he got to a spot and played with power. I thought we didn't move the ball well enough. There were only probably 5 or 6 possessions where we felt like we generated good offensive rhythm, and it's a credit to them. Their rotations are they're on point, and they don't make very many errors, and they're physical. They're aggressive to the ball, and we try to hit the short roll in the first ball screen, and it was almost like clockwork. They were deflecting it. So if you try to get too aggressive on the first action, it's going to be as defended as well as anything. And then so we just weren't very patient with leveraging that initial action or that first thing to get to the next thing. And we'll be more comfortable when we play against them if we play against them the next time, hopefully. But yeah, we didn't do a lot of things well, other than just, I thought our sheer determination to win the last 4 or 5 minutes was impressive. Oh, Trey's poise. I thought his 3 free throws were probably the biggest, I don't say the biggest points of the game. Sanford just missed a free throw. We were down 8. We were in a funk. We were in a fog. Elliott made a nice pass to Trey. He jumped up aggressively. Luckily, we were able to get the foul on that play. Hoiberg got under his feet a little bit. He knocks down those 3 free throws, and you could almost see that sense of belief that now we're getting stops. Our defense is on now. Let's find a way, because at that point you're down 2 possessions versus 3. Whatever.
Yeah, Dusty, you guys shot like 25, 26% from 3, 18 turnovers. Obviously, that big stretch in the second half where you did that, but we're able to beat an undefeated team that moves the ball the way they do. Do you believe in winning DNA, and do you feel like your team just sort of has that factor?
I do believe in winning DNA. I believe in the look that you feel like you're going to find a way, no matter how it's going, what's happened up to this point, how it's going for me individually, and also the shared belief of the guys in the circle with you that they've prepared for this, they put in the work. So yes, without a doubt, I do believe in winning DNA. I believe you make your own luck, and you try to do the best you can to put yourself in position to win every single night. And then I thought our guys stepped up and made the free throws, especially at winning time. And when you're down 4 and 5 and 3, and like we were, those are the hardest ones to make, because they're all so they're all so pressure filled, and our guys they stepped up and made most of them. We missed one late, but Dye went 1 of 2 on that segment to give us a little bit of a cushion.
And then, if I could go more, it'll probably be pretty pressure filled all night long on Friday. Just if you gave a message to the team about quickly turning the page and what you expect. I don't know if we'll get you again before that game.
Yeah, I mean, this game prepares us for that one. We know how difficult it's going to be. All of us in the locker room that were here last year, we certainly can attest to that. It's like I said, there certainly isn't going to be anything easy about Friday night. It's a game that means a lot for a number of reasons. Obviously, the rivalry, the fans, and then I think we're both capable of winning a Big Ten championship. So obviously a lot is on the line, and we've got to find a way to get on the road and play a little bit better and get over that hump.
That literally looked like one of the more physical games we've seen here in years, and it led to some frustration, it looked like at times. What do you say to your guys when they're just letting them play like that?
Control the controllables, and you've got to play through it. You've got to adjust to the game. And I thought overall our guys did that. I was a little disappointed. We had a couple basketballs knocked out of our hands in the last 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, in a game like this, both teams are swiping for the ball. They're being aggressive. They're not calling a touch foul. So we have to be stronger with the ball because if we continue to turn the ball over like we have the last couple games, we're going to be playing from behind a lot. And so that's got to be priority number one moving forward is valuing the basketball much better than we did tonight. Yeah, we're definitely not going to pack it in and shut it down. So, if that's your question, yeah, we're going to play Friday. Yeah.
How different are they without Rink Mass? It feels like typically a lot of stuff kind of runs through him.
Yeah, each team's different. For us, to be honest, if they would have had 2 big guys, I think we probably would have guarded them a little better in the first half than we did. Obviously, they're not near as good of a basketball team, but I do think they're probably more challenging to guard especially with Lawrence playing the way he did, Hoiberg, Sanford, and then Jacobson came in and played really, really good basketball. So, the cumulative effect of them losing him is obviously a big deal. But in a one-possession situation, they're very difficult to guard with him, and they're extremely difficult to guard without him.
Dusty, you've mentioned a couple of times the word easy, not an easy button, not easy time. And do you think, especially with the turnovers, that there's been not as much of a locked-in focus at times, that either pushing things, forcing things, trying to get the big play?
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought when we looked at them at halftime, I thought half of our turnovers were really good decisions that we didn't complete. I think the lob to Amari, the timing was off an inch. And if he makes that, it's a dunk. It goes out of bounds, so you're able to set your defense. The turnovers where we're just going into a group of 3 or 4 Cornhuskers is just not good decision-making instead of driving and looking to kick. So, yeah, it's a combination, but without a doubt, but I thought the second half, I thought that and even at the end of the first half, the Dye was open for a dunk. He just wasn't looking for the ball for whatever reason. We're in our 2-for-1 situation, and it goes through his hands. Same thing late in the game. I thought Elliott found him up ahead, and if he would have caught it, we would have been able to play transition basketball. And he tried to dribble it, and 1-on-3 as a 7-3 guy dribble, and it's probably not going to work out well. So those are the decisions that have to improve. But our best offense is transition and getting out when the game opens up. We're not proficient. I don't know how many sets we've been able to run for a 3-point shooter like they do for Sanford. We're just not built that way. And so we have to get out in the open court, attack seams, and make better decisions.
Coach Morez was telling us back here that he felt like in the first half you guys were talking on defense but not listening, and then he said that the second half defense improved quite a bit, partially because of that. I guess, did you see anything else specifically that went into that defensive improvement? I mean, you held them to like 32% on 2-point shots in the second half. What went into that?
I think our awareness of where the shooters were. In the first half, I felt like there were several instances where we just let our guard down for a split second or a third of a second. And we don't guard guys like Sanford very often. I mean, when you turn on college basketball, there aren't very many guys that, there's teams that run a set for a shooter, and you can scheme that, but there's just certain guys in our league that are incredibly unique. And like I said, he sprints, he sets it up, he shoots with such range when he uses his speed to attack certain switches, and so he just presents a number of challenges, and a lot of it is just his off-ball movement. So I think our antennas were up in the second half because of how well they played in the first, and even the same thing with Lawrence. He has 15 points, and we go under his next ball screen. But I think in the second half we were determined to get those things fixed, and we just wanted to force tough shots every possession. The first half we weren't forcing tough shots every possession, and in the second half, other than just a few instances, we forced tough shots, and that's what you want to do at home. You want to force difficult shots and live with the result, assuming you can rebound it. And I thought that's what we did the majority of the last 20 minutes.
In games like this where the offense is bogged down at times in a half court, is that where the size and the physicality that you were able to recruit in the spring really kind of kicks in, where you can kind of live on these offensive rebounds and effort plays defensively?
Yeah, tonight we pretty much had to muck it up. You're 6 of 26 from three. If you're sitting there and you're 11 for 26, the court just looks different. And so they had us packed in. They had the game. They had their pack in the paint. They were being incredibly physical, and like I said, we weren't able to get them out of their shell. Where I think of some of those threes, I thought Namari did a nice job early of. They do such a good job of protecting the paint, and then you think you're open, and they run and jump at you. And so it's just something you don't see very often. It's something that we don't do. We stay more attached to shooter's strong side, and so you don't want to discount what you see every day. And so that's why typically when you play teams the second time around, you can adjust better to those. But I mean, it's a scheme that works well for them. They have a very unique system. It was much more common when everything was a charge in college basketball, and now that the charges have pretty much been eliminated, then you just don't see it very often. But they still do it, and the risk is you give up threes. And so, they gave up 26. A lot of teams aren't comfortable giving up 26, and we're not really comfortable giving up 32. But because of their effort and their sheer determination, even when you think you're open, they close space so well, and they're always in one-way help. And so I don't want to be too into this basketball stuff, but their effort and their plan is really sound.
We'll take one more, Chris.
It seemed like the crowd tonight was even better than Friday. Can you just talk about the lift they gave you?
Yeah, I mean, at those pivotal moments of the game when we're going back on defense up 1 or up 3, and you can't hear yourself think. I mean, it's a really, really cool thing to see this developing in real time. I still remember TCU, our first Power 5 game last year, and there was a few thousand people here, and it was like, okay, that's 3,000, whatever it was, 3,000 people. That's fine. I mean, we're gonna have to earn their time, and we're gonna have to earn their money, and our guys have done that over a 2-year period, and now we have to continue to earn that energy and what they bring to it. In our student section, I mean, I looked around before the game, and it looks like some of the best environments as far as student sections in the country, and we're not winning these games like this, and we're not winning a championship without them. So it's always more fun when everyone's on board and all hands on deck, and we're doing this together, because that's what college basketball is. And you turn on the TV every night, man, these games are awesome. Like, is it perfect? No, but college basketball is in a pretty good place. I know you're not going to hear that very often, but if you just look at that 2 hours, man, that was a heck of a college basketball game. I mean, the performance by Sam Hoiberg, I mean, you kidding me? 13-7, 5-4, 0 turnovers. I mean, it's pretty good. So hats off to Nebraska. They're going to win a lot of games. They're top 5 in the country for a reason. And it's on to the next. We got to get ready for Sparty.